Across the silent reaches of the void, there lies a world dying in brilliance. They call it Earth's twin. But here, the light perished billions of years ago, held captive beneath an eternal shroud of amber. At the base of its valleys, the pressure is as dense as an ocean. A silence so heavy it could stifle any sound. We are not merely looking at another planet. We are gazing into the grandest tomb in the solar system. The beauty of hostility. Venus looks like a lie. From a distance, it's a soft, silent ivory, perfectly still. But that glow isn't coming from water clouds or anything that might harbor life. It's actually the glare of sunlight, violently reflected off thick, lethal layers of sulfuric acid. Look beneath that jewel-like exterior, and you won't find a paradise. You'll find a furnace of crushing pressure and heat, ready to swallow anything that touches the surface. The moment you cross that line, the thrill of discovery turns into something else. A primal fear, because you aren't just flying into a planet anymore, you're sinking. It's a deep-sea dive into an ocean of air so thick there's no foothold and no way back. As the white veil above fades away, you realize you're being consumed by something vast, nameless, and deathly quiet. When the blue vanishes, this is where the light fails. Every blue wavelength, the color of our sky, the color of hope, is choked out by the atmosphere. What's left of the sun is a murky, suffocating amber that stains everything it touches. You've entered a world where a blue day simply doesn't exist. This is a kingdom of yellow shadows, where even the last scrap of light feels like it's decaying. At the bottom of the Venusian atmosphere, the line between gas and liquid simply vanishes. With pressure 90 times that of Earth, carbon dioxide is forced into a state called a supercritical fluid. This isn't air as we know it. It's a thick, heavy soup of matter, so dense that it could actually keep you buoyant. Standing here, you're not just enduring pressure. You are standing at the bottom of an ocean of liquefied gas, where every movement is a struggle against the massive, frictional drag of a world packed too tight with molecules. In this dense soup, sound doesn't behave. Because the air is so tightly packed, sound waves travel faster and hold their energy much longer than they do on Earth. The result is a kind of acoustic chaos. Mechanical groans from the planet's crust, miles away, can ring in your ears as if they're right behind you. But there's a catch. The atmosphere also acts as a filter. It swallows high-pitched noises, leaving only a low, muffled thrum. You'd feel constantly hunted by phantom noises you can't trace. An auditory torture in a world that's always whispering, yet completely devoid of life. The isolation here is amplified by a strange optical trick, super refraction. The air is so thick it actually bends light to match the curvature of the planet itself. Here, the horizon doesn't drop away like it does on Earth. Instead, it seems to curve upward, giving you the haunting illusion that you're standing at the bottom of a giant, amber-colored bowl. Your vision is trapped, choked by the scattering of light in a medium so dense that space seems to fold in on you, leaving no visual escape to the stars above. In that supercritical state we mentioned, the atmosphere of Venus doesn't just crush the Venera probes. It finds a way to seep inside. With its extreme density, this gas-liquid hybrid crawls through the tiniest microscopic gaps in the titanium hulls, dragging lethal heat directly into the ship's core. These probes aren't just fighting the heat. They're besieged by a substance with the force of a liquid, but the invasive power of a gas. It's a silent molecular invasion, one that renders every layer of armor utterly meaningless. Think about those 127 minutes, the record for survival set by Venera 13. That's 127 minutes of machinery screaming under the strain, in a world where lead and zinc have already turned to liquid. Every image sent back to Earth was a miracle of defiance. But when the last welds melted and the circuits finally snapped, the probe didn't just die. It was assimilated. In that instant, the line between high-tech engineering and a lifeless rock vanished. The ship became part of the Venusian geology, a twisted hunk of metal claimed by the pressure of an ocean of air. Because there's no water or sandstorms to erode them, these wrecks are still there, sitting exactly where they landed over 40 years ago. They exist in a state of eerie preservation beneath the acid mists. In this vast, lonely world, these shards of titanium are the only fingerprints of humanity. They lie there, silent in the amber gloom, like ancient tombs of a civilization that never had a chance to begin. It is a small, haunting presence, a reminder that this universe was never built to welcome us. The lonely wrecks we see today rest on a surface that wasn't always this hostile. Computer climate models suggest that for billions of years, Venus and Earth might have shared the same brilliant beginning. There is solid scientific ground for a time when this planet possessed liquid oceans and stable continents. It was a near-perfect double, a true twin, where life might have once flickered into existence. The suffocating silence we find today is actually the echo of a paradise stripped away by the cruel, grinding gears of the cosmos. The shift from a lush blue world to an eternal furnace didn't happen overnight. It was driven by a terrifying phenomenon, the runaway greenhouse effect. As solar radiation intensified, water vapor began to evaporate at an uncontrollable rate, creating an irreversible heat trap. The oceans boiled away, and heated carbonate rocks bled their CO2 into the sky, forging the supercritical atmosphere we saw earlier. This is the ultimate proof of a climate system that crossed the point of no return, where the laws of physics took over to dismantle a world. The isolation of those Venera probes lying in a graveyard of basalt is more than just a chapter of space history. It is a mirror. When we look into those murky amber horizons and feel the crushing weight of Venus, we aren't just observing another planet. We are witnessing a possible future for Earth, should our own fragile balance ever shatter. Those rusted hulls are the first relics of a warning, a vision of a world where the blue of our oceans is a distant memory, replaced by an eternal silence and the dying yellow light of a ghost planet. After all our attempts to penetrate its secrets, we are met with a quiet truth. Venus does not hate us. It simply has no need for us. This planet is not a battlefield, but a vast entity operating by the purest laws of physics. Amidst the blackness of space, it will continue to spin, brilliant under the sun, yet solitary within its supercritical shroud. Humanity's titanium footprints will remain there forever, veiled in acid mists, like tiny grains of sand unable to stir the silence of a world that has chosen to close itself off from life. A world like Venus serves as a stark reminder that life on Earth is not a given. It is a fragile miracle, woven from a series of cosmic accidents. Let the murky amber horizons and the suffocating weight of our twin become a silent warning from the dark, so that when we look back at our blue sky and breathe the gentle air of home, we might cherish every breath this planet gives us, before it all becomes nothing more than an amber memory drifting in the eternal void. Before human eyes ever glimpsed it through a telescope, Neptune existed only as a ghost within mathematical equations. In the most distant and frozen reaches of space, Neptune is defying every law of physics. It receives so little sunlight, yet it radiates twice the energy it takes in. It should be frozen in a silent grave. But this planet is a nuclear reactor in a state of self-collapse. Where does this frantic energy come from? Is it from the millions of carats of diamond rain pounding against the core? Or from a darker secret buried deep within the eternal ice? Right now, fasten your seatbelts. We are infiltrating the loneliest world in the cosmos to decode the mathematical ghost of the solar system. The disappearance of the clouds isn't a sign of peace. It is the exposure of a reactor, momentarily idling, storing up its power. Because the true source of this planet's strength doesn't come from the dim, external light. It comes from a brutal thermal engine buried deep within its core. This is the Neptune paradox. It sits further from the Sun than Uranus, receiving far less energy, yet its actual temperature remains equal, if not higher. Neptune radiates 2.6 times the heat it absorbs. To explain this energy surplus, physicists must confront a chilling scenario. The planet is consuming itself. The first mechanism is gravitational contraction, Kelvin-Helmholtz. Neptune isn't a static block of ice. It is an entity slowly collapsing in on itself. As matter falls toward the gravitational center, potential energy is forged into massive heat, baking the icy crust from within. But even that heat isn't enough to fuel 2,100 kilometers per hour supersonic winds. It requires a denser kind of fuel. And that is when we must speak of the diamond rain. Deep beneath the atmosphere, pressure hits millions of bars, enough to snap the chemical bonds of methane. Carbon atoms are ripped apart, crushed, and transmuted into solid diamonds. These aren't the sparkling gems of a jewelry store. They are heavy, material arrows, plummeting through the viscous fluid toward the core. This process isn't just a cosmic curiosity. It is a violent energy transformation. As billions of tons of diamonds fall, the horrific friction between them and the surrounding mantle releases heat equivalent to thousands of atomic bombs every single second. It is this rain of pressure that superheats the liquid layer, driving violent convection currents that scream at supersonic speeds, shattering every physical limit found on rocky worlds like Earth. So when you gaze at the pale blue of Neptune through the James Webb telescope, remember, that is merely a deceptive shell. Beneath that silent mist lies a pressure cooker hell, where diamonds fall like hail and core temperatures rival the surface of the sun. But Neptune's cruelty doesn't stop at crushing carbon. Its gravitational reach extends much further. turning its neighbors into victims of a billion-year execution. And the greatest victim of all is Triton, the death row moon, spiraling backward toward its own demise. After passing through hellish pressures and gravitational tragedies, we face one final mystery: the arrhythmic soul of Neptune, the broken magnetic field. If Earth is a perfect bar magnet with stable north and south poles, Neptune's magnetosphere is like a damaged work of art. It doesn't originate from a central ferromagnetic core as conventional physics dictates. Instead, it is offset from the planet's center by 13,500 kilometers, more than half the planet's radius, and tilted at a staggering 47-degree angle from its rotational axis. Why is the magnetic heart of a giant so displaced and chaotic? The answer lies in the bizarre state of matter within its mantle. Scientists believe that instead of a rotating liquid metal core, Neptune's magnetic field is generated by a supercritical water-ammonia ocean. Under extreme pressure and temperature, this mixture is neither liquid nor gas. It becomes a superionic slush, a powerful electrical conductor. The chaotic motion of this slush in the shallower layers, rather than the deep core, creates a warped magnetic shield. Imagine holding a compass on Neptune. The needle would never settle. It would spin frantically, enslaved by the unstable fluid currents surging beneath your feet. This anomaly turns Neptune into a cosmic outlaw against the solar wind. While other planets possess a sturdy magnetic shield to deflect charged particles, Neptune's shield is constantly twisted and torn with every rotation. Every time Neptune spins, its magnetic field opens and closes like a broken trapdoor, allowing high-energy solar particles to pierce deep into the atmosphere, igniting auroras that are faint yet ghostly. Yet this magnetic chaos is the final line of defense for the solar system against interstellar space. Neptune stands there at the frontier between the light and eternal darkness, like a solitary gatekeeper. Beyond it lies nothing but the shattered Kuiper belt and the freezing void of the interstellar medium. The supersonic storms, the diamond rain superheating the core, and the dismemberment of Triton all form a brutal symphony that Neptune performs in the silence of the deep. It requires no audience. Since its discovery in 1846, this planet has completed only one single orbit around the Sun. Time here seems to stand still, yet physics never stops screaming. Neptune's solitude is not the stillness of death. It is the solitude of a gargantuan machine running at full throttle to defy absolute zero. Neptune is not the gentle blue jewel seen in NASA's color-enhanced photos. It is an entity in the process of self-collapse, cannibalizing its own children, hiding an arrhythmic magnetic heart beneath a veil of pale cyan. It stands as a reminder. At the edge of human understanding, the laws of nature are no longer designed to protect life, but to showcase the pure destructive power of the universe. We began with a 2,100 kilometers per hour scream and the wonder of a world summoned by mathematics. But in the end, we are left with a brutal truth. That howl is not a sign of life. It is the groan of a planet consuming itself to stave off thermal death. Everything we have witnessed, from the diamond rain baking the core to the looming execution of Triton, is, in reality, the final struggle of matter to delay eternal frost. Neptune is using its own flesh and bone, and that of its moons to feed an internal furnace in the dark. But the logic of the universe is absolute. One day, when Triton is nothing but a shattered ring and the internal heat has bled dry, Neptune will truly become a pale, silent block of ice, drifting aimlessly into the interstellar void. We found it through the power of thought, and we will lose it to the grasp of infinity. Before it lies the fading light of a dying star. Behind it, an abyss where mathematics becomes meaningless. At the edge of the world, there is no one to catch us if we fall. There is only the wind dying out and the crushing silence of the void.